Sup dudes, it's Snail. Time for another settlement mod video. You know the drill by now. I have 5 settlement mods to show you and they're all linked in the description for downloading. But before we get into the video, let's make a deal first. If you end up downloading any mod, I need you to like the video and subscribe so I can keep bringing you mods like a good snail should. But for the moment, let's return to the Peabody House settlement we looked at last video. Last time I was here, we didn't really do too much building. I just sort of looked around a little bit and showed you guys how big the settlement build area was. Any settlement that's worth its salt is going to need a few workbenches, and honestly, I can't find any on this settlement, so let's make our own. However, very important, it can't just be regular workbenches. No! What are you, irradiated? Instead, we're going to use these tiny workbenches from Compact Crafting, which is a mod that does pretty much what it says on the tin. It gives you compact versions of each crafting workbench to build in your settlements. Each workbench is a rework of the vanilla benches to optimize your available space, while doubling as a high-quality immersive design piece. As you can see, the benches are roughly 30 to 40% the size of their larger counterparts, which should free up some valuable floor space if you've got a lot of crap lying around. You'll see this is a common theme in Fallout 4 building, and we talk about it a little bit more in this video, but for some reason, vanilla assets have an addiction to floor space. Mods like Compact Crafting are going to help you liberate more floor space to have a better looking settlement altogether. Now, these are a great alternative to the vanilla workbenches because where other Compact Crafting options take a minimalistic approach, Compact Crafting has opted to service your sense of aesthetics as well as utility, because each bench is beautifully detailed with all sorts of clutter that you'd expect from what the bench handles. But it's not just this clutter, okay, because the benches themselves are also textured in 4K resolution, meaning you can see fine details as clear as day. Just look at the grain on that leather.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
I agree, Will Smith. Now, these benches also have a nice tie-in to the Fallout lore, as each bench is marked as manufactured by H&H Tools. If you're looking for this logo, you can find it right on the front of the edge of the table, and while it's just a little detail, it does leave me with a feeling of appreciation. Personally, I love when modders go out of their way to tie back into the Fallout lore, like lore-friendly tattoos, or lore-friendly condoms for currency. What kind of sick pervert shit? Now, if you're wondering what exactly comes with the Compact Crafting benches, well, don't worry, because you can find all the major crafting benches that you would need, and a few of them have different varieties you can choose from as well. My personal favorite of the bunch is the Power Armor workbench, which is just the diagnostics cart and a floor mat for placement. With these benches, you can craft to your heart's content in just about any living situation you can think of. It would be a perfect mod to add to the bus stop build challenge, so if I ever make another bus stop build, I'll be sure to make good use of it there. Alright, so we've got these really aesthetic workbenches, but let's go inside the house for a minute to check out how the Peabodys have been living.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Absolutely terrible. For 200 years, the Peabodys have had to live in this dump with their only entertainment being to watch their wallpaper curdle up and flake off. Not just that, but the new neighbors have really brought down their property values so far, I could afford to buy it. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. In fact, it's so bad that Mr. Peabody has developed a drinking problem as a result. You know what? Let's cheer him up a little and cover up the curdled wallpaper with lore-friendly posters, a mod that adds a massive collection of 100 posters to the game. Now, as the name implies, these will look right at home in a Vanilla Plus playthrough. Most of the posters are large, high-res versions of the different magazines you'll find around the Commonwealth, but some are completely new and original, including a collection of pinups. For Mr. Peabody's benefit, I placed one of these pinups in the kitchen to soothe his broken mind. Hopefully that works. I don't know, we'll check on him later. But for now, I can't just place one and call it a day. So I went around the house placing posters with all the available wall space, but I only ended up using 24 of the 100 or so that this mod adds. Okay. So I really like you, so I went back to Sanctuary and I built a massive concrete display for all 100 posters. Yeah, I know, I'm the best, thank me later. The task of building the display was long and hard, but I thought it was worth it to see every single poster lined up for display. 5 minutes of clicking the same 2 buttons over and over and over and over again, and holy that's a lot of posters. So clearly, this mod is great for decoration junkies who want new ways to liven up their living space, and while most posters are blown up versions of in-game magazines, that doesn't mean they're any less lively for it. Hell, I'll take these over a mounted bloatfly any day of the week. I do also appreciate some of the original additions to the poster roster, such as this gem right here. Ha! booby. Plus, for the Peabodys, it's a great way to distract from the fact that they never left their house not once to look for Billy while he was locked in that fridge. Great job, guys. Good parenting. Good parenting is all part of being a good neighbor too, and if you're a pretty good neighbor yourself, you might want to consider joining the Snail Shack Discord, where I host my community and we talk about all sorts of things, all Fallout and modding involved, and we just generally hang out and have a good time. Discord server invite is in the description. Go ahead and check that out. You won't be sorry. So after I dismantled the concrete display, I decided it was time to head back to the Peabody's house just to see how they were enjoying their new posters. Miss Peabody was none too happy about the pinup model in the kitchen, but I remembered seeing a Nuka-Cola in the fridge, so you know what, let's get on her good side with craftable display shelves. This mod is going to add several craftable display shelves to the workshop that let you display 3 different items: Nuka-Cola and general drinks, Bobbleheads, and toy robot models. These are a really cool way to display your collectibles, and they're definitely a huge step up from the vanilla displays. I set up a quick Nuka-Cola display for Miss Peabody just to chill her out a little bit. You can mix and match what drinks you store on the Nuka-Cola shelves, so you're not limited to just Nuka-Cola. Also, oh shit, there's a Vim display! Let's fucking go, boys! Yeah, in case you didn't know, Vim is the superior drink to Nuka-Cola, so I immediately filled up the shelf and called it a day. Sorry, Miss Peabody, get fucked. These display shelves are great because they'll help to further flesh out wall decoration. When you use these in conjunction with the posters, they can do a lot together to transform a 200-year-old rotting structure. Not only that, but they help move your storage and displays upwards and off the floor. The larger versions of the shelves are tastefully detailed and definitely worth using, like the robot model shelf I put above Billy's bed with the Grognak posters. This is meant to inspire childlike joy in the little chunk of beef jerky whenever he wakes up in the morning. But personally, I like the smaller shelves for their simplicity and vivid colors, like the Bobbleheads display I made for Mr. Peabody. Now whenever he opens his eyes in the morning, the first thing he'll remember is his failure to get his family to a vault on time. Also, the fact that the shelves are a container means that you don't have to burn build budget placing drinks or robot models on display with something like OCD or the Decorations tab in CVC Dead Wasteland. Overall, less space used, more decoration potential. This mod is a win for any savvy settlement builder who might want to be careful with their build budget. Now, the last thing I can think of that they need around here is some signage. After all, the Peabody House is a nice structure for having survived a nuclear war, but it's a bit lacking in curb appeal, so I'm going to use This Is Your Sign to generate a little more interest. See, This Is Your Sign is an all-in-one mod for creating the perfect signboard for your community. It comes with sign backings in several different varieties and skins. Then once you place your backing, you can choose your lettering from a few different fonts, including painted for that grimy wasteland look, but I personally prefer this one we're building with here. Once you have your font selected, you can choose any variety of colors to build your lettering with, which I find pretty helpful, because some colors just simply display better than others. Or maybe I'm colorblind. No, it's definitely not that. These definitely just look better altogether. But once you've decided on all that, placing your letters is as easy as letting them snap onto the sign backing and spelling out what you need to. And for those of you wondering, the letters don't snap perfectly against the backing, but just like Billy, if you're never looking for it, then it doesn't matter, so it's fine. And once you're finished with the lettering, you can run some lights on the front to illuminate your settlement's name for the whole wasteland to see. Huh, weird. Miss Peabody's drinking now too. Anyways, now that we've fixed up the Peabody's house, I have a bit of a confession I want to make to you. I've always felt that the Fallout 4 map seems pretty empty. I don't mean empty like there's nothing to look at or loot, because that's simply not true. So let me explain my point further. A massive part of Fallout 4 is its settlement building. That's undeniable. In service to this, there's a ton of settlements all over the map, and most of them feel like the perfect clean slate to build on. That's great, but the side effect is that so many locations don't really come with lore or really much evidence of human activity. Well, Fallout 4 Settlements Reborn is a mod that aims to fix this empty feeling. It streamlines settlement play by building up most settlements, adds unique items, NPCs, and fleshes each location out with a little lore. Let's look at a few settlements as a vertical slice of what this mod accomplishes. While normally Sanctuary is completely empty, this mod has turned several of the homes into interior spaces where people have lived up until recently. These interiors are fully furnished, giving the sense sense that life still carried on long after the bombs fell. On the flip side, now when you go to Hangman's Alley, you won't just find a random group of raiders, you'll encounter raiders led by a named NPC in rusty armor, a rework of the settlement, and a brand new interior shop. Furniture, storage, and set pieces have all been meticulously added to these locations to revitalize them. Take Starlight Drive-In for instance, where the top level of the projection tower is outfitted to be a perfect player home. However, speaking of player homes, the author has also given Red Rocket Station a massive upgrade. Now instead of just being a player home that sits inside of an empty fuel station, someone in the Commonwealth has gone to the trouble of turning it into a fully automated diner. In addition, for those of you who simply want to play the game without having to build up settlements at all, the mod adds a settlement needs box that automatically provides beds, food, and 100% happiness, along with everything else that you're going to need to provide your settlers. I only visited a few of the settlements that this mod touches, but everything I saw was fantastic. If you try one mod on this list, I think this is the mod you should try. Be warned though, while it fixes the empty feeling of the Commonwealth map, it can't fix the empty feeling in your heart after your dad walked out of your life. Anyways, that's... oh, wait a minute. Did I say 5 mods? No, scrap that. There's actually a 6th mod in today's video. I'm finally recommending Scrap Everything. Scrap Everything is a mod that lets you do exactly what the name implies. Now, imagine this. You just come out of the vault, you get to Sanctuary, you unlock it as a settlement, and you're looking around and the place looks kind of busted. There's a few completely destroyed houses, but you'd love to remove some of those other houses and start fresh. You can't do that in the vanilla game, and also there's other clutter and junk that you simply can't remove because it's baked into the pre-combines. Scrap Everything fixes this by letting you scrap that junk, scrap those bushes, scrap this road, scrap that sidewalk, scrap this tree. F this tree, I hate this tree. And the best part is, if you have a camp mod, a 76 camp mod that lets you build a settlement anywhere, you can throw that camp mod down and scrap whatever within the vicinity of that camp, and it stays scrapped for the rest of your playthrough. Anyways, with that in tow, all these mods are available for download again in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Snail, take care, brush your hair. What are your thoughts? Was there a mod I should have added that you really like? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, let me know what you thought of these mods on the list. I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna go play the Oblivion remake. I'll see you later. Peace, dudes.